Kinds of transpiration. There are three kinds of transpiration occurring in plants. First, from the leaves through stomata, called as stomatal transpiration. Second, directly from the surface of the leaves, that is from the upper surface of the leaves and stem, called as cuticular transpiration. And the third type, from the lenticels. These are the minute openings present on the old woody stems and called as lenticular transpiration. The major part of the transpiration occurs through stomata, whereas the other two types of transpiration contribute very little. So, maximum of transpiration occurs through stomata and least occur through upper surface, that is cuticular transpiration. So if we are going to arrange them in increasing order, then first is cuticular transpiration, then lenticular transpiration, and maximum will be stomatal transpiration. Now starting with mechanism of stomatal transpiration. Before beginning with this topic, first we will discuss the structure of stomata present stomatal opening present in epidermal surface of the leaf. This is the diagram. It is very important from examination point of view. This is the opening called as stoma. Stoma is singular, stomata is a plural term. So this is the opening, stomatal opening, which is guarded by two guard cells. Now in dicot leaves, as shown in this diagram, guard cells are kidney shaped. They have thick inner wall and thin outer wall, and entire this stomatal structure apparatus means opening plus guard cells, they are surrounded by epidermal cells. Now these guard cells, as they are plant cells, they have all the cell organelles which are present in plant cell. Cell wall, nucleus, cytoplasm, rest of the cell organelles also, and the most important one, chloroplast is also present in guard cells. In this diagram, this stoma or stomatal opening is opened, and at night stomata get closed. Now actual function of these stomatal opening is to exchange gases for the process of photosynthesis. So they open during the day to let in carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. Now when they open up, at the same time they help in expelling out water in the form of vapor from this their pore. So stomata, they are the minute openings present in the epidermal surface of the leaf. Each stomata is surrounded by two bean-shaped guard cells. During the daytime, stomata are wide open for the intake of carbon dioxide for photosynthesis, and the number of stomata may range from 1000 to 10,000 per centimeter square. The plants which are growing in xerophytic condition, they have very less number of stomata to reduce the rate of transpiration. Now the stomatal transpiration, it occurs through the epidermal surface of the leaf. In monocots, stomatas, they are present on both the surfaces, so their transpiration occur from both surfaces. In dicot, they are present on lower surfaces, so in dicot plants transpiration occur, stomatal transpiration occur from lower surface only. Before starting with the mechanism, there is one another structure, that is the structure of dicot leaf. To understand the mechanism, first we will start with the structure of dicot leaf. Beta, this is the structure of dicot leaf. This is the upper epidermis made up of one single layer of cells, epidermal cells. Now this epidermis, it is covered by one waxy coating that is called as cuticle. Beta, the function of cuticle is to prevent transpiration, but as it is exposed to the atmosphere, very little bit transpiration occur through it also. So cuticle Then after cuticle, single layer of epidermal cell, that is upper epidermis. In the same way, one epidermis is present on the lower surface, dorsal surface of the leaf also, and that is called as lower epidermis. Beta, after this, in between these two epidermis, mesophyll cells are there. These mesophyll cells are the parenchymatous cells. In dicot leaves, two types of mesophyll cells are present. The first one, these columnar-like cells, brick-like cells, elongated cells, which are present just below the upper epidermis, they are called as palisade mesophyll. They are elongated cells. They don't have any intercellular space in between them. Just below palisade mesophyll, another type of mesophyll cells are present which are polygonal in shape, and they have large intercellular spaces in between them. These are the intercellular spaces, and they are called as spongy mesophyll. Both palisade and spongy mesophyll, they contain chloroplast, and here only the process of photosynthesis occur. But are these all intercellular spaces? They are interconnected and they are joined to one large space, and this space is just before stoma, so it is called as substomatal space. Just after this, lower epidermis is present, and just below this substomatal space, guard cells regulating the opening, that stomatal opening, are present. So this is the entire structure of dicot leaf. Now you know that all plants, they absorb water through root hairs from the soil. Once they absorb water, water start moving from one cell to another cell by the process of osmosis and reaches xylem vessel. There also, with the help of certain forces, through xylem vessel, this water is conducted in the upward direction, that is ascent of sap towards the leaves. Once the water reaches the midrib through veins, that water reaches each and every cell of the dicot leaf. Now if water enter the dicot leaf, when the water enter the dicot leaf, there it start moving from one cell to another cell, again by the process of osmosis from higher concentration to lower concentration. But inside the dicot leaf, in cells, water moves by two processes. The water which enter the cell membrane, it will move by cell to cell osmosis, and the water which do not enter cell membrane, only enter the cell wall, it will move from the cell wall of one plant cell, leaf cell, to another by the process of imbibition. So by these two processes, water keeps on moving from one cell to another cell. In this diagram it is very clear. Now these are the palisade mesophyll. So water keeps on moving from one cell to another cell by cell to cell osmosis or imbibition. Then it moves to spongy mesophyll. And as you know, now spongy mesophills, they have intercellular spaces in between them. So when water moves to the spongy mesophyll cell, which is to which the next is intercellular spaces. Now here, when the spongy mesophyll cell become turgid, it will push that water out to its surface. Here water turns into vapor form and fill the intercellular spaces. Now earlier the water is in liquid form. Once it reaches the spongy mesophyll, there when it is pushed out from spongy mesophyll cell, it turns into vapor form, and then by the process of diffusion it start moving from one intercellular spaces to another intercellular space. So in this way, now water start moving from one intercellular space to another intercellular space, and at last it reaches the substomatal space. Here it is start collecting over. If the stoma is open, at that time only, again by the process of diffusion, it is expelled out. And if stomata are closed, then it is stored here in the vapor form, When stomata open, again by the process of diffusion, it is expelled out. So in this way, stomatal transpiration occur in leaves. Now next is more transpiration occur from the under surface of dicot leaf. As you know, in dicot leaf, stomatal openings are present on the lower surface of the leaf. So as stomata are present here and maximum transpiration occur from stomata only, so that's why more transpiration in dicot leaves occur from lower surface. To prove this, there is again one experiment. For this, you have to select a plant with broad leaf. Do not pluck the leaf from the plant. So while keeping it intact, place two cobalt chloride paper, dry cobalt chloride paper, one on the upper surface of the leaf and another on the lower surface of the leaf. And after placing this dry cobalt chloride paper, which is blue in color, cover this paper from both sides with slides, glass slides. This is to prevent its direct contact with water present in the air, because our air also contain variable amount of water vapor. So to avoid its contact with that water, it is covered with glass slides. Now leave this experimental setup for few minutes. What you are going to observe? The cobalt chloride paper, which is placed on the lower surface of the leaf, will turn pink very soon. Why? Because more transpiration is occurring from lower surface. The cobalt chloride paper, which is placed on upper surface, will also turn pink, but it will take time. So this shows that more transpiration in dicot plants occur from lower surface. So this is all about stomatal transpiration. Now in next video we will learn about regulation of stomatal transpiration.